Hello, Steve White, Trek Boy 89 for Steve Arts 89. Well, there was some speculation about the future of the Star Trek series, the multiple series, the Star Trek franchise, because Paramount, like a lot of streaming services, wasn't doing as well as expected. And there was talk of tightening the belt and reducing the budget on original content by, I've forgotten the number, was it $3 billion or was that Disney? A lot. And the speculation was, since Star Trek was one of the most expensive productions, that it would be one of the first ones to be chopped. Now, Picard was already ending, and we've just found out that Discovery is ending. The 5th season is its final season. Now, I don't believe that is a response to this situation, because it would have had to have been known well in advance. They wouldn't have just, unless the season was planned as a possible last final season, and they just sort of at the end got the word that yes, this is the end, and you don't have to rewrite your ending and sort of make it open, because the rumor is that in past some of the Star Trek Discovery seasons were planned to be the final season, and they did reshoots to continue the show on, or vice versa, that they were writing it to be the final or whatever. So there's been lots of rumors. I don't know if this season was planned from the beginning as the final season or not, but it is the final season. Picard is the final season. And although I don't see Strange New Worlds being cancelled after one season, I mean, it's got a second season already, there's talk of a third season renewal, I don't see them greenlighting any new shows. I can't imagine they're going to keep this, 5 shows running at the same time. It's too expensive. They're not, they're not giant hits, they're not really doing big numbers, so I can't really see Paramount justifying this many in production. They've thrown a lot of pasta at the wall, and most of it just slipped down. It didn't really stick. So I think they're just going to stick with Strange New Worlds, focus on that. Same with the animated shows. They're probably going to, I think they were already decided how many they were going to go for. But yeah, I can't see them doing Section 31, and I'm glad. I'm really happy. I think Star Trek, when Stephen Ira Burr or whatever added Section 31 into Deep Space Nine, it was an abomination of Star Trek, really, but because it was just one guy, it could be dismissed as like a fringe element, but New Trek made it legitimate. They gave it badges, they gave it a secret headquarters, they gave it just, a whole staff, they gave it life. They basically totally undermined the Federation and the universe that Gene Roddenberry created with this active dark, section of Star Trek, Starfleet that operated as part of it, that it needed to survive. It was such a cynical attack on this utopian future that in order for it to exist, we have to have this dark fringe element that is really who's in charge and really important people. And it was just really so offensive as a Star Trek fan. And the idea of that becoming a series, it's bad enough it was such a large feature of Discovery. But the idea of it actually being a series in itself, even though I love Michelle Yeoh and I'd love to see her in a series, I would love them to have done a Giorgio series with her as the captain, and Michael just learning how to, be a good first officer, and then taking over from her, and maybe she'd go work in the academy or something and train cadets, and they could have a Starfleet Academy series with her leading it, and Michael could take over the ship, and they could have these 2 series with these 2 women leads. I thought that would have been great, but instead they did what they did. We had wars and mirror universes and musical captain's chairs, and it was just, it's all in the past now. The beauty is I don't have to think about Discovery anymore. After these 10 episodes, it's done. I don't have to deal with it anymore. I'm so relieved. I'm so happy. While, yes, feeling bad for the crew who now have to go find another job and everything. I understand that side of it. But as a fan, I don't have to deal with it again. And I'm really relieved. And I don't think it was in response to Paramount, tightening its belt. But future-wise, I don't see the same sort of risks and sort of series being done just on the whim of people like, Kurtzman. Because they really are going to have to justify, I think, future Star Trek shows and the money to produce them. They're going to have to be focused on fan favourite, ideas and pleasing the fans. They're not just going to be throwing money at them anymore, I don't think. So I think it's good news ultimately that Star Trek's going to be on a tighter budget, if that's what this means. and I'm kind of glad Discovery is ending. I'm glad Picard is finished. I'd love for them to have 2 series running at the same time, like Strange New Worlds in the 23rd century and a Picard era show in the 25th century that continues on after Picard, maybe with the Titan crew or something. I think that would be good. But I'm glad Discovery's ending. I don't think we're going to see Section 31. Not sure about the animated series. They probably have already been pre-planned for how many episodes they're going to do. But I just want to talk about that for a minute and just again state how relieved I am to not have to deal with Star Trek Discovery anymore after the season. So the last season, it's no more. It can't do any more damage to Star Trek and the franchise and the universe and the canon, and I'm just relieved. But I'm going to go. Thanks. Bye.